Let's talk about the 2012 presidential election in Florida. Florida is a very important state in the presidential.
We are really ground zero yet again. Right now, according to state statute, the Florida primary is the earliest in the nation, January 31st, which has made both the Republican National Committee, the Democrat National Committee, and the folks in Iowa and New Hampshire very unhappy with our legislature. I don't know that we'll end up on January 31st. We may end up near the end of February, but if we stayed on the 31st, these early state caucuses and primaries would be forced to go much earlier, early in January, which is probably not very desirable. That means we'll get a lot of attention with an early primary, and the Republican Party here is putting together a straw ballot for the first time in a couple of election cycles, where candidates will come in and compete for the votes of delegates elected at county caucuses over the summer. That should be interesting. It will make us a big stomping ground for a lot of folks who want to take on Obama.
But who is going to be the candidate versus our president? I mean, right now, their group of candidates, we look at Donald Trump, we look at Sarah Palin, Newt Gingrich. It looks like the barroom scenes in the Star Wars movie. I mean, who's going to step up to the stage? And I don't think any of that group is capable at this point.
I think Scrub is, again, perversely right a little bit. I don't think that, a big stick is going to have to emerge from the field. I was one of Sally's mentors, I remember one time, described the Republican presidential primary field one time when the original President Bush was a candidate as being George Bush and the Seven Dwarfs. And there's not a George Bush this time, it's just the Seven Dwarfs. So I don't know who will emerge, but somebody will have to.
Well, I'm not sure that's a good analogy entirely, just because I think Mitt Romney right now is the odds-on favorite. I mean, he ran before. Republicans typically do not nominate someone who has never run for president before. We have a tendency to go back and get the guy who ran last time unsuccessfully. And Romney has built up, in Florida in particular, a very strong base of fundraisers. He has a following here because of his work here last time. The interesting thing about the primary is that who is going to be the person who posts up against Romney? Someone will emerge as the choice other than Mitt Romney, and that will be the interesting race to watch.